Hey everybody, Troa here, back for another episode of Elite Dangerous, and in this episode I'm going to be showing you a little bit about how I've been doing some trading. Now I've been doing this for a little bit now, and I didn't actually have to sell my Viper. I made enough in combat vouchers to actually go ahead and get myself the Adder. So I'm going to show you guys why I chose the Adder and how trading is, and the inside of everything, and why I like this ship more than the Hauler. So on that note, let's go ahead and roll the intro. Alright, now we're back. So hey guys, let's go ahead and go over a couple of things here. So first thing, as you can see here, I've got the Adder. Now the Adder is an awesome ship. It's actually quite nice, and it makes some of the freakiest noises ever. It's actually really cool. I like the way this thing sounds. They did a great job with the sound design in this game, and this is no exception here. Really the whole reason I got the Viper, and this one here is probably another one of those ships. So let's go ahead. I'm going to take you to the shipyard, and I'm going to show you how much this thing costs stock. Now here we go. Now this is actually where I purchased my Adder a while back, but as you can see here, it's 87,808, right? And you think, well, why wouldn't I just get the Hauler? I mean, the Hauler is like 56 or something like that. It's not too much different. And, you know, really when you're at this point, every dollar really counts, but you know, why would I get this one over the other one? Well, there's a few reasons why. Number one, the Adder has more hardpoint potential, if you will. Now, when I was doing bounty hunting, these things were just a pain in the butt to kill. They are way more maneuverable than Haulers. Haulers were just a laugh to kill. They just sat there, took it, and died. These things, on the other hand, always put up a fight, and they were willing to punch back. And they're faster, they have more armor, they're better in every way. And so you really do get what you pay for here. And I can't really recommend this enough. This is, if you're going to get into trading early, this is really what you need. And in my opinion, what you should be doing anyway is getting into trading, because trading is where the money's at. Now, right now, this little guy here, pretty much an entry-level trader, is making me as much as I am doing bounty hunting. And bounty hunting is a gamble. Now, you might not even find anybody who's wanted, and if you do, they might only be worth $1,000 or so. Not a lot. I mean, granted, yeah, you can get those big bounties of, like, you know, 30, 40, 50,000 in one go, and that's great. But I mean, if that happens, there you go. And you can die doing that. You are in combat, the #1 place where you die in this game. So the safer route is to trade. And if you want to make money fast, and I mean really fast, this is the way to do it. And even if you don't want to do trading, like if your whole thing is combat, get into trading anyway. Because what I'm finding here is that this makes combat so much easier. I can make enough money safely here to do pretty much anything I want to do in combat. I have upgraded my ship a lot, my Viper, quite a bit after doing a few rounds of trading. And there are a few tools available for this, and one of them that I like to use is Slopey's Best Profit Calculator. Now, it's a free application that Slopey makes, and it's in the it's actually on the Elite Dangerous forums. I'll try to put a link to it in the description, but basically what it does is it analyzes the market. So every time somebody like me docks at a station, it records the data that's at that station, all the commodities, what they're worth, and then it checks them against everywhere else. And I have it set right now that where the station I am now, it'll tell me where's the best place to pick up cargo and where's the best place to deliver it within a distance that I like. Now, I can do it to a specific station if I do my research, or I can do it to a specific system, which is a bit easier to do. And you just pretty much do what it tells you to do. It's really easy. There's nothing around it. If you are, I mean, you can do this in your Sidewinder, but yeah, I wouldn't. I would just use your free ship to try to get some quick money, either by pirating or bounty hunting or what have you. Get that. Get a Hauler, get an Adder. Adder is better. If you can afford it, get it. So, that said, let's go in here and I'll show you why. So in the hard points, the Hauler only has one hard point. This one has 3, right? So I could put 3 guns on this thing if I wanted to. I don't. And the reason I don't is because I want the maximum jump range I can get. Now from here, you can see here down at the bottom right that my laden jump range is 12.20 light years, which is insane. This thing can go a very, very far distance for how cheap it is, so that's a great thing. Now, like I said, this thing can do combat. I don't care though. I wanna make as much as I can from this ship so I can get the Cobra. And in fact, I could get the Cobra now. I'd have to sell my ships, and I don't know if I'm really wanting to do that right now. I mean, there's really no loss to me doing it. I mean, there is, but there's not really enough to warrant it when I can make enough money to get it and then just sell everything later on and get that extra large ship, because I'm just pouring capital into ships is basically what I'm doing. Think of it kind of like a savings account. Because you do lose money when you upgrade a part, but when you sell the ship, right, you're going to take a hit. It's not going to give you the full credit back, but the amount of money that you earned in addition to, because your ship is more capable, is going to outweigh that loss. So, for here, what have I done? Well, I have upgraded my power plant a little. Wait, no I haven't. I haven't actually upgraded my power plant. I haven't upgraded my thrusters. I have upgraded my frameshift drive. Haven't done anything to life support. I have upgraded my power distributor so I can boost more frequently. And I have, initially I decreased the size of my fuel tank, and I did that so that my jump range would increase. Now say I went down to a 4 and it goes up to 12.81. Now the reason I went back to an 8 is because I could do such far jumps anyway, and what I had found is I used so much fuel that I would need to make a pit stop to make my destination. Which could be, of course, overruled if you want to do a fuel scoop, but that's 2 different slots that you have to sacrifice for that ability to jump further. So for me, it was easier to give up a little bit of range and have only one of those hard points selected and filled up, which is going to be the fuel tank. Now later on, this is going to change in the bigger haulers because they have bigger tanks and it costs more to fuel them up, but for here, it's not a problem. So, what have I done here? Now here, I took out the shield generator. Now, here's the great thing about the adder. So in the adder, you get a type 3, not type 3, but a class 3 shield, whereas in the hauler, you get a class 2. Now, the hauler, if you remove everything in it, you will get a 22 maximum cargo hold, 22 tons of cargo. In here, I can get 22 by dropping this one down here. So the shield is normally here. I would sell it, get a cargo rack of 8, and then down here with one of these 4 capacity slots, I would go ahead and get a class 2 shield, which you can do. And that means that I can still have shields and carry as much as a shieldless hauler. And that's why the adder is so much better as a trading vessel, because you can have all the protection you want and all of the cargo that a hauler can muster. So here I can take it even a step further. Removing that shield gives me an extra 4, so I have 26 tons of cargo capacity. And that doesn't seem like much, but that's 2,000 per trip, essentially, that I'm making extra than I would in a hauler. So, yeah, it does pay for itself. And again, keep in mind that when you sell the ship, you're getting most of your money back. So, it's not even worth it to get the hauler, in my opinion. But anyway, that's kind of enough of that. So, let's go ahead and get on to trading. So right now, I'm at Seberov Station in Yakubugai. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the commodities market and I'm going to pick up some superconductors. Why? Because that's what I'm being told to do. So, semi or super? It is definitely going to be superconductors. So, let's go ahead and buy as many of these as I can. Alright. Cargo is going to be full at 149,088 Chris Roberts. So, fill that up. I don't have enough money to buy my ship back. If I die right now, I will lose a lot of money. So, I'm being safe. So, that said, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plot my route. Now, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and go to the galaxy map. And where I'm going is LTT 7548. So, I'm going to go over here, go to the navigation, and go to LTT 7548. Jump right to it. And see right here, it's not really far enough for me to really see it, but I'm going to go ahead and plot the route. So it's going to come all the way around here, and that's going to take a while. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to reroute that to fastest routes. And I think I need to reset it somehow, so let me go ahead and do that. Let's go back over here. And plot that route. Route unavailable. Oh, okay, there we go. So there we go, fastest routes. And as you can see, it's kind of changed a little bit. So less jumps, but it's going to use more fuel. I'm fine with that, though. So, exit out of here, and we're going to launch. Now, I found a couple of things here. If I make it to where my head can move while I'm undocking, it makes it to where, with mouse and keyboard anyway, it's not going to like jerk when I get released from the landing pad. So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to press 0, which sets my throttle to 0, and retract my landing gear at the exact same time I'm released.
Ship released. Engines engaged. Landing gear retracted.
And what that does is it makes it to where I'm sitting perfectly still right now. Now my head's still able to move around, so I can look up and do all sorts of things if I want to. I don't really have to, though, because there's not really anybody in the station. But because I don't have any shields on, it's probably a good idea. So let's throttle up a little bit, get back to where we can control the ship, and let's leave the station. And then you guys can start hearing the noise this thing makes. And that's fine, it's just a security service. Alright. And get ready to jump. Get ready.
Frameshift drive charging.
And as you can see, I'm a peddler now, and a novice combat. So I've gone up in rank. It's pretty nice, actually.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
While we're here, the inside of the ship is definitely nicer than the hauler. Definitely nicer. I mean, this is basically the Eurovan of the Chevy van, if you know what I mean. You know? It's built better, it's gonna last longer, it's got more creature comforts. It's like that Mercedes van when you have that, you know, that industrial grade van kind of thing going on. I mean, granted, yeah, one will get you going faster, but
Frameshift drive charging.
One's just better overall. And this is basically the same thing here. So everything is a little bit nicer, everything looks a little more tucked away. We've got that second seat, and we're even driving on the right side.
4, 3, 2, 1,
Now, a lot of people will tell you to throttle down right there. Not necessary. Just pitch up immediately. Start heading towards your next destination. If you have a fuel scoop on it, just go forward a little bit and then just kind of slam on the brakes. And you can get enough fuel just sitting there. You can skim it, but it's kind of hard to do that, and you don't really need to do it. These things really don't have a big enough tank to sit there for too long. And getting a better fuel scoop will make it to where you can actually scoop enough fuel quickly to just sit there and not worry about it. For me, though, I mean, the fuel costs are manageable because this thing just, it doesn't take enough.
4, 3, 2, 1,
Now for here, because the destination I want to jump to is on the other side of the sun, I'm going to get away from the sun's gravitational pull, and the way I can tell if that happens is if I speed up. And there it is. So now I'm away from the sun, safely jump.
Frameshift drive charging.
And as you can see, I get a lot of reputation from doing these trading runs. It's actually kind of insane how much that helps you out, because I haven't really been doing a lot of missions.
3, 2, 1,
Now granted, those factions within the system may not be the ones I technically want to align with. They're the ones that benefit from my trading in some financial or economic way or another. And this thing doesn't have any problems with heat. I mean, it might if you have more things equipped, but for me, I can immediately jump. Don't have to worry about it. I never overheat. This is a nice ship. And when I slow down in regular drive, it's going to make the sound. It's awesome.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
And it's even got little like cubby holes up here. It's got some galvanized metal there for some reason, like a radiator or something. Probably leaks all over the place, or it will later.
Frameshift drive charging.
Now how I'm checking to make sure I can make it is if I go over here to my navigation, after this is done, obviously, I can see if there's ever, like sometimes we'll say, you know, incompatible or too far away or something.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
And if that happens, there'll also be a point where it says that there's insufficient fuel. And if that's the case, you gotta make a pit stop. But I seem to have made it, so we're good. Now I just gotta find the station I'm going to, which is the Boltzmann Gateway. Go over here, and there it is. Lock destination. And head right for it. Now, the other good thing about this ship is it's fast, and it's fast in Super Cruise, and it's hard to kind of calm down and go in at a safe angle. So I like to overshoot it in this ship, so, you know, people have a hard time interdicting me. Just fly right towards it. Don't even care. Full bore, and then I swing around using the planet's gravity to slow me down, and I've found it's faster and more fun. So just kind of lock it here, and then, you know, go over here and check some things out. Yeah, see, look at that, 66% here. Huh, I guess I didn't have enough to fill up my tank. And just kind of whir around, then slow down a little. Bring it back up. And then we're coming back in again. It's going to do it again. That's fine. I'm going to swing to the far side of the planet, that way I can kind of come underneath it. You don't have to get very close for it to be caught in the gravity. And there you go. I'm almost ready to disengage. And there we go. Alright.
Flight assist off. Flight assist on. Flight assist off.
Now, if you look on the bottom left, right there, at the little hologram of the station, there's little arrows, like, protruding from the surface of that shape. I can't remember the name of that shape. But there's little arrows, and it'll point to the dock. The other way that you can kind of remember is this will always spin on the axis of the port, and it'll always be counterclockwise. That way you can tell. And there we go.
Flight assist on. Scan detected.
set my throttle to 0 so it'll go back to 0 so you don't have to fight it. I found that trick out. And there you go.
Successful. Engines disengaged.
Enter the gateway, or enter the docking bay, and then immediately go to Starport Services, refuel everything. You want to go to repairs and check your ship integrity. Sometimes it won't let you do it until it's at a certain point, which is kind of annoying. Same with the paintwork for some reason. Whatever. Go back over here to the commodities market. And yeah, then we're going to go ahead and sell our cargo. Let's see, there you are. And let's sell everything. And we made a hefty 20,256 credits. That's easy. And that roughly takes about the time of a really good fight, maybe a little bit longer, but it's consistent. And it's got a much lower failure rate than a bounty that would be worth 20,000. I mean, you could die, lose your ship, and then you're out, you know, 8-9 grand instead of making anything. And you potentially can lose all of your bounty vouchers, which has been happening to me. I don't think that's supposed to happen, but I've been losing my bounty vouchers that I had when I die, which is really irritating. So, yeah, there's that. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and do what we got to do here. So, right now I'm in LTT. And 7548. There we go. Let's search from here. I'm in the Boltzmann Gateway. And it looks like yep, survey says resonating separators. And we are sending that to, oh god, I cannot pronounce that. I cannot pronounce either of those, so yeah, you guys are just kind of stuck on that one. Sorry. You'll see what I mean when you can see it. There we go. So now I have 32,000 in the bank, so technically I could buy my ship back without going into debt. Which, by the way, if you don't have enough money to buy your ship back and you do die, you go into debt and you pay it off with 10% of the profits that you make every time you make said profit. And I think you can only go to 20,000 before you're cut off, which is fine. I haven't used it yet, but I've seen it used. But anyway, where are we going? Galaxy map. Good God, I can't even come close to that. Let's try to type it. All right, so no, is it another L? No. I think that's it. Yeah, whatever the heck this place is. Alright, fastest routes, yep. Plot the route. And exit. Alright, so we are set, we are ready to go. I'm still a peddler, which is pretty cool, because I hate being penniless. And let's see. And yeah, pretty good stuff. So we're full. We are ready to go. Exit out of here. No refuels or anything else like that. Exit out of here. Let's launch. Galiba? Is the N silent? Is it Galiba? I think so. I think it's Galiba.
Ship released. Engines engaged. Landing gear retracted.
get away from that gateway.
Frameshift drive charging.
And that's pretty much the gist of it, guys. So I'm going to be quiet during these jumps, so go ahead and do some magical editing, and I'll see you guys at the next starport.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
Oh, shit. I don't know why I'm losing. There we go. Get wrecked. Where was I? And that's how you avoid interdiction. And if I had been interdicted, I would have just floored it and kept going. I have completely lost people like that. Listen to I love the sound this thing makes. Anyway.
Docking request granted.
There we go. Now, one thing I found out is that when you request docking on an outpost like this, if you don't see any docking bays here and then all of a sudden you do afterward, they light them up when you request docking, which makes sense. But yeah, so if you see one light up, that one's yours. Oh, that's close. Every now and then my throttle will go back to regular. I'm always very skittish about doing a maneuver like that straight towards the pad because it's happened. And it just freaks me out. I haven't crashed yet, but it's definitely been
Engines disengaged.
hair-raising. Alright, so I'm at the Nordic Ski Shack. Let's go ahead and do some trading. Repairs. Ah, ship integrity. Repair that. Did I refuel? Yes, I did. Okay, commodities. Let's sell all this junk. There we go. Resonating separators. And 21,684. So I've already made over 40K. Not really doing anything. I mean, this is kind of fun. If you've ever liked doing things like SimCity or any kind of games like that, where it's like number crunching and kind of like a strategy almost, this is like the same thing. And some of you will say like, hey, I'm cheating because I'm using the best profit calculator. You know, people who work on the stock market, who actually make money with stocks and everything else like that, they would do the exact same thing. They have their resources and everything else where they would actually go ahead and find out all the information they could, find out who to sell it to, when to buy it, how to buy it, etc., etc., etc. It would be no different in space. And this, since it is a space simulator, I don't feel the least bit bad using a tool like this that collects the market data in the game and just lets you see it. I mean, that's really easy. If we can do it here, they could do it in the future. So, yeah, for me, not a problem at all. Others might not be the case, and there are other ways you can do it too. You can go to each one and then write it down. You can see, you know, what commodities they have, what they buy, what they sell. Go to another one, write it all down, and then make your own trade routes. And sometimes those are very profitable. Another way you can do it is go to the system map and try to figure that out, but I haven't had any luck with that. It's it'll say something's exported there and then they won't even have it. So for me, this is the best way of doing it. And I mean, as you can see, that was easy money right there. And so if it were me, if you can buy the adder, get the adder, because you can do the same thing that the hauler can do, but with shields. Or you can do what I'm doing, go all risk and all reward, take that out and get even more than you could in the hauler. Pays for itself. So anyway, guys, I hope you like that. And if you want to see some more of this, let me know. And yeah, thanks, guys. Laters.